So what I noticed when I was trying to clean up these windshields in process to reglaze them to add glass, that they get dog-eared and banged up because people, the last person apparently tried to get this support, or the one part of the hinge, it's a two-part hinge, the frame is one part and the hinge is the other, to remove that, and it fits like slips over. Slips, the main frame is the hook or support, and then the hinge, and they hammered it up. They banged it up, they distorted it, got the mostly the hinge portion no longer was sliding or able to slip. And when I was inspecting it, trying to get it to close was a problem. It was bound up because the ends on both sides were distorted, and it wasn't snapping into position. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a snap there when it is in position. In other words, when you position it, I'm not sure which way it is. I think this way is vertical and this is screwed into the header. I don't think it's this way where it's screwed into the header, but you heard a snap either direction. This is snapped vertical, this is snapped horizontal. It may be that the windshield fits in there, hangs down straight down, and then when you open it, what you're doing is flicking it open. The windshield is going open. This is from the passenger side. Then it snaps, see? Well, in order to correct that, what I did was take a scratch-awl and a little hammer, a baby hammer, and worked the end. In other words, I knocked this out a short distance and trued up the end of this without taking the whole thing apart. Trued this up so it was fairly straight and shaped properly, and the inner part, which is the inner part. I had it when I told you the hinge part is actually this part of my hand. The bottom of the frame is a rigid center part, and the hinge wraps around it. So I straightened that up, both the inner and the outer, and magically it starts to snap. And that gave me a epiphany, a thought that, hey, what I want to be able to do is take these apart without screwing them up, without hammering them to death to take them apart. And so what my plan is now, take a piece of scrap wood, position it so that it's screwed using the screw holes that are in the hinge part. Screw through it. You can use either screws that go all the way through with a nut on the end and a washer so that it doesn't distort anything. Gives it a little support. But I think if you put screws in the first four and then use this to move or to take it out, or even more to install it too, just reverse the process. But then you can hammer on the wood and not distort anything. Worst thing you can do is to take a big hammer and get brutal with it, even if you're frustrated, and ruin it. These things only fit together one way. Seems like my rule of thumb with Ford is if it doesn't fit properly, when you try assembling it, you either have the wrong part or you're doing it incorrectly, because these things nest or fit, and by intuition you can tell that you're doing it properly or improperly. So that's my point on these window frames, and I'll follow through with assembly of a window frame, but this is just one part of that, kind of a teaser on the assembly and putting glass in on a window, because this is a standard 30-31 window for a coupe, a pickup, or a two-door. Not the slant window or anything trick, or a roadster. This is just the standard windshield. And I would show you the regular. So that's my point for today. This is Bob, Brentwood Bob, and we're going to try and show you a few things over time, and things that have bothered me, or that I had figured out one way to do it, and share that with you now before I can't do it any longer. Thank you.